which was at that point of time not fitting into the strategic template. Why these things? But now everything is clear. Most of the cards have been played, and as an analyst, I can give my assessment what lies ahead in the future. The future is not good. It's based on violence. It is based on destabilization of third world countries that do not ally with the American policies and Israel policies in the region. The statement of the ambassador of Vatican in the United Nations was spiritual. It was based on humanity. It was based on the fact that no religion wants bloodshed and warfare, humiliation and misery for poor people who are being exploited for geopolitical objectives all over the world, which includes Gaza. Pakistan's position will come later. Let us just try to understand what is happening. There are three main actors. One is the axis of United States of America and Israel, and second is China, very loosely allied with Russia, very loosely allied with Afghanistan and Iran, with some sort of defense arrangements with Pakistan and the BRI oblique CPEC projects and investments in Pakistan.
Watch Federal Post. Bold and independent. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Talking Politics. This is Hassan Zafar, and we have Samson Simon Sharaf Saab with us. He is a political economist, and today we are going to discuss the Gaza situation. And in the backdrop, we have India-Pakistan war, we have Israel-Iran war, and many other developments that have taken place in previous 6 months. And here we are with the 20 points agenda that came up from Washington after the meeting between President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. So, Samson Saab, this is a very quick overview of the things that we have. Must have seen this 20 points agenda. How does it look to you? What guarantees does it provide for a lasting peace in the Middle East? How acceptable does it sound to the rival parties that includes primarily Hamas and other Palestinians, and to Iran and to the rest of the Arab world? And Pakistan has also given a note uh, saying that they like the plan.
First of all, for the past few weeks, the entire situation has been very, very confusing. Sudden utterances by President Trump emphasizing we're going to take Bagram back and picking up a conflict with Afghanistan and Afghanistan standing up to it and refusing. Then out of nowhere, there pops up an Islamic alliance, and then the Pakistani media plays it up that Pakistan will be providing a nuclear umbrella to Saudi Arabia. And then we see one of the staunchest allies of United States of America, Qatar, USA looking the other way while Israel attacks. Uh, all this was a very confusing situation, which was at that point of time not fitting into the strategic template. Why these things? But now everything is clear. Most of the cards have been played, and as an analyst, I can give my assessment what lies ahead in the future. The future is not good. It's based on violence. It is based on destabilization of third world countries that do not ally with the American policies and Israel policies in the region, which includes Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan, all the Arab countries for that matter. India has been able to slip out of it, and they've been able to, bring a little bit of improvement in their relations with China. Uh, I think if Indian strategists have finally read the script, then they'll try to stay away from this melee and improve their relations with China. So, if the game continues to be played at the pace that it is being played, uh, Pakistan will be a loser. Afghanistan will become a stabilizer, the only stabilizing country in the region, and India will stand to benefit. This is in broad. As regards the Middle East, uh, there is talk about Pakistani peacekeeping troops acting on behalf of, as a guarantor or whatever, not yet decided through the United Nations or through some alliances or whatever, uh, to be patrolling Gaza. Uh, till such time this is not panned out, and we are not very clear what Pakistan's stance is vis-a-vis Gaza and the Palestinian. Is Pakistan backing off from its previous stances and adopting the stance taken by the Zionist, which is the American establishment at present, not necessarily the American people, and Israel, and some of the Arab countries who are supporting both of them? Then Pakistan also falls into the same camp. So this is what is happening. Uh, I hope you know the ambassador of Vatican in United Nations also spoke.
Yes, yes, yes. He made a statement in the United Nations. How do you connect that statement with what is happening in Gaza?
I think the statement of the ambassador of Vatican in United Nations was spiritual. It was based on humanity. It was based on the fact that no religion wants bloodshed and warfare, humiliation, and misery for poor people who are being exploited for geopolitical objectives all over the world, which includes Gaza and other countries of the world as well. He made references to South America and other places where all this, Burma, all these places. Uh,
Hmm.
it's very clear the Catholic Church stands with the people of Gaza, the Palestinians. There is no doubt about it anymore. And if the Catholic Church stands, so does the Orthodox churches and the Coptic churches.
So,
So we can
is
safely
that
say
on religious basis, Simon Saab? Is that on religious basis or on political basis that they are
it's on
standing with?
religious. It is on religious basis and humanitarian basis, on spiritual basis, not on political basis. So we can say that Christianity as it stood up to the 17th century, the church which was up to 17th century, all those groups are supporting the Palestinians. And it's those reform movements which took place with the Protestants, Martin Luther beginning. Some sections of those are the ones who are called the far right Christians. They are supporting the Zionists. So this is a very big difference. And instantly, uh, the Christian liturgy, the Catholic liturgy nowadays on daily basis in the Holy Mass is also dwelling on the same issue, in which Prophet Zechariah of the Old Testament, acknowledged by the Jews, Christians, and Muslims, Zachariah as we call him. In chapter 8, he says, no walls around Jerusalem when Jerusalem will be rebuilt by the Persians. He's talking of over 600 before Christ. And he goes on in the same chapter to say that a man will come of a Jewish descent, and Jerusalem will be open to all nations, all ethnicities, all races. And those people will come and touch the robe of that man from the Jewish descent, which means Jesus Christ. So, what Zechariah or Hazrat Zachariah is prophesying is that Jerusalem will be a city not only of the Jews, but all nationalities of the world
mm,
who will touch the robe of Jesus Christ. So,
mm.
that entire concept of rebuilding Jerusalem and the occupied land and redrawing the maps and reclaiming lands from Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq as Jewish lands, that entire concept is nullified because of this.
Is that the
On the
statement of Hazrat Zakaria uh, that provides the basis for the Abraham Accords? Is that the
yes,
reason?
if
Uh,
you if
you know,
if you
the
if
basis
you
for the Abraham
view,
Accords?
view if the viewers can lay hands on the book of Zechariah in the Old Testament, chapter 8, and read it and reread it and read it, this is exactly what I'm saying. It's from the Old Testament. It's a Jewish prophecy.
Hmm.
The prophets who were predating the arrival of Jesus Christ.
Right, but let's look at some other things that have happened. You mentioned Pak Saudi defense agreement, and after that, we also heard that Pakistani forces, maybe under the United Nations umbrella, they might be performing some duties if this uh, 20 points agenda has been agreed upon by the rival parties. How do you see Pakistan positioned in all of it in the Middle East, particularly after the Pak Saudi defense agreement?
Pakistan's position will come later. Let us just try to understand what is happening.
All right.
There are three main actors. One is the axis of United States of America and Israel. And second is China, very loosely allied with Russia, very loosely allied with Afghanistan and Iran, with some sort of defense arrangements with Pakistan and the BRI oblique CPEC projects and investments in Pakistan.
Hmm.
So this is the scenario in which this entire tangle is being played, and this is a new dimension of a frightening ghost story which is being told, whether it is Bagram, whether it is Qatar, or it is Saudi Arabia, or it is
Hmm.
Pakistan for that matter. A ghost story being told and retold through propaganda and through calibrated bursts in the state, official and unofficial medias to frighten these countries away. So basically, this is the crux.
Hmm.
And once I have defined the two sides, the southern front led by Israel and United States of America, and the Eurasian led by China, what comes to mind then? Where is the containment line? The containment line passes through Pakistan. And if it passes through Pakistan,
Hmm.
which is that point? It is the coastal belt of Pakistan, Gwadar and everything else next to it. Because Gwadar helps the southern front to sit on the flank of Iran, blocks the entire CPEC and BRI initiative in the area, checkmates China, and they keep talking of Bagram, knowing that Chinese must have already carried out good reconnaissance of Bagram and debugged it well and proper and I'm sure they may be making some use of the airport also. So this is the game,
Yeah, this
and
is
in
the
this
game.
entire
An interesting development has also taken place in this context too, if I may draw your attention to it. Uh, just 2 days ago, China announced that they are going to connect Gwadar with Africa, and we know the Horn of Africa, how the strategic importance of that. This route bypasses the two important points, the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el Mandeb. Uh, these two points, which are situated in a very critical geography of the Middle East, where all the trade is taking place. So
yes,
this
this in addition,
development is also taking
this
place.
is
This immediately follows the Pak-Saudi defense alliance, and after that, Iran's army chief also shows intentions of joining Pak-Saudi defense alliance. So these are the dots that we need to connect.
it also links up. If you had not raised the point, I would have brought it up. During the Israel-Iran conflict, there was a considerable threat to the southern front from Iran in the Strait of Hormuz and all those small islands, blocking the entire armada of oil tankers and everything in the Middle East. That threat was very real. And perhaps one reason why America and Israel had to back off from Iran. Another reason, of course, is that Iran was still a nuclear capable country and still is. So, yes, this is a very important, this also adds to it. So, this adds more importance to the coastal belt of Pakistan. So, the whole game will end up around Pakistan. This is what I dread and this is what I fear.
So, how do you see Pakistan situated in this whole scenario that you have drawn now?
Uh, I think there's lots of goodwill prevailing right now, whether it is genuine goodwill or it is expediencies on both sides, United States of America and Pakistan. Lots of diplomacy is taking place. Prime Minister of Pakistan has visited multiple times, so has the Army Chief of Pakistan. Probably he's already visited. This was his third visit. So there's a lot of stuff which is being discussed between United States of America and Pakistan. And these discussions cannot be fruitful if issues related to China and provision of sea routes, ground approaches to sea routes to China are not discussed. They may not come up in the official communiques, but in the submerged diplomacy, which is not visible, I'm sure these issues must have been discussed threadbare. And I do not know what Pakistan has to offer on this. Uh, what Pakistan has to lose is quite clear, but what Pakistan has to offer and gain, I'm not clear at all.
So, on the balance of probability, what do you see Pakistan losing and what possibly Pakistan could gain from this?
I think if Pakistan goes along with the United States of America and Israel, then Pakistan stands to lose a very big chunk of its credible conventional military deterrence. The military deterrence which helped Pakistan ascendancy over in India May this year, particularly through Pakistan Air Force. So obviously, if there's a action, there's going to be a reaction. So I dread to say Pakistan's conventional military deterrence will take a battering if Pakistan goes all the way with the United States. You already know in Pakistan, Balochistan is situation is not comfortable at all. And United States of America has always been interested in Balochistan. They have always been interested. In fact, as a columnist, when I wrote my first article in 2007, I said, you know, the coup de grace or the final knock to Pakistan will come when USA will have boots in Balochistan. It appears
Correct.
probable right now.
Thank you
And
so
the
much, I
and
would
the
like to
proxies,
add something. Yes,
by the way, the proxies are already operating in Pakistan, in Balochistan, in
definitely,
Karachi.
we know that. And just yesterday, there was a terrorist attack in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and this is a continuing phenomenon. We know that. And there are other pressing issues that are knocking on our door while we are looking outward. Uh, there are many internal matters that need attention at the same time because our internal strength will ultimately reflect in our foreign policies,
Exactly.
how we deal with other nations and external situations.
I
So,
like to I
thank
like to conclude by saying that there is an engineered chaos which is taking
you.
part in the region, which is happening in the region. It is not engineered by Pakistan or any local country. It is engineered chaos at the highest level to destabilize countries, to affect them economically, make them pliant, make them elastic, and force them
Mm,
into choosing policies which benefit the axis of the southern front.
mm. Thank you so much, Saman Saab. You pointed out several important things that we should be aware of. And I think it's very important that we should not allow ourselves to fall into any kind of trap that is ensnaring us at the moment. So thank you so much once again, and thank you very much for watching. Khuda Hafiz, Pakistan.